I'm sad to say I think I need a damn selfie stick. Like, I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it, but I just can't figure this out. This is not my profession. This is not my area of expertise. But anyway. So here we are. We're actually going to go into another episode of How to Sturgis 2021. You like that little spin there? So this episode, we did a first one, look back. We did one on how to get there and where to stay. I'm going to flip this back and forth to deal with it. And we talked about the campgrounds and hotels and Airbnb and all that kind of crap. Look, it's a wreath. Still, like it's now middle of January, and this is my life. These are still cardboard boxes from gifts that I still have to deal with. And all right, I don't want to cry on camera. And then I did one on where to eat, which had a lot of conversation, which was cool. I learned a lot from the comments, so keep those coming. And then I'm old, so where to grab a drink is today's topic. Something I know a lot about. I'm a fan of libations, as it's referred to, and by people smarter than me. This cup actually has a story. So speaking of where to grab a drink, last year I stayed at Glencoe, and my buddy Bull, who is born and raised in Sturgis, and is my unofficial tour guide because he knows the best rides, every little route in the region. So, and his dad still lives there, actually, there in Rapids. So, he's just great to go with. And he goes almost every year, and that he was there last year. When me and Bull are together, brilliant things happen. I mean, we're talking, Harvard grads got nothing. They just got nothing on Bull and I. We figured all the world's problems. We figured out how to drink multiple fifths of whiskey in a day. And we just, we fix everything. Anyway, this cup is a result of one night. We all have one night a year. Everyone I know anyway. One night a year where we make bad choices, right? And mine was this last year, one night. I decided to start the day with peanut butter whiskey. If you haven't had it, you should. It's just so tasty. Anyway, my wife, Bull, and his old lady had the brilliant idea, actually brilliant idea, to take a nap when we got back from riding all day, because we were going to have a late night. And I was like, I don't stand a nap. Naps are for losers. So I just went and did burnouts and drank more while they took naps. And then they got up and started drinking, and I stayed with them. So by the end of the night, I was in trouble. Yeah, you know that feeling where you're like, oh, this is bad. This is real bad. Anyway, I ended up back in my RV, half passed out outside. Bull came and carried my that tells you how big Bull is. He carried my fat ass inside and plopped me down, where I proceeded to yell at them for partying without me, and would yell, go away, and then they would go away, and then I would yell, where are you going? Don't leave me alone. And then they would come back, and then I would say, go away, leave me alone. And this went on for like 2 hours. So Bull's old lady sent me a little gift that says, go away, leave me alone on one side, and on the other, it says, everyone's partying without me. So this is one of my most prized possessions, so thanks, Jessica, again. I don't know if she ever sees these or anything, but thanks again for that video. For that cup. So I'm enjoying a cocktail out of that. So tonight, where to grab a drink. I actually have notes. These are in no order. These are just like, places I've seen over the years and been to most of them. I haven't been to all of them. And just thought I would kind of run down a list. This is really for the virgins that may have never been to Sturgis. I'd love to hear from those of you who have, if you've got someplace. I'm sure there's others. As a matter of fact, there's one I'm already thinking of. I can't remember the name of it, but that's not on this list. But the first we'll start with, I don't need notifications right now, with the Iron Horse Saloon. The Iron Horse Saloon is in the actual city of Sturgis. So if you don't know this, Sturgis is a concept, not just a city. So Sturgis is the small town, but the rally goes out 100 plus miles in all directions. It goes into Montana and Wyoming and all over the place. But the actual city of Sturgis is tiny, and probably anymore. I mean, curious your opinions, but It's probably about 20% of the rally. I mean, the rest of it's elsewhere. But the Iron Horse Saloon. The Iron Horse Saloon is there. I didn't pull a map up to give you addresses, but just map it. You'll find it easier. Just Google it. It's a big bar, restaurant, multi-level thing that has an outdoor sort of Old West town kind of thing with vendors and chopper builders, and they do like, timed build-offs and kind of stuff. But that's also a big concert venue. But there's a place to get a drink and do some people watching. You can go up to the second story, stand out on the veranda, on the deck thing there, and just watch bikes go by. That's pretty cool. Someplace you need to go to is at the Buffalo Chip. If you're not staying at the Chip, there's still a place to go. So there's two areas of the Buffalo Chip. The when you first get to the main entrance, right? You've all seen the pictures and whatnot of the big wrought iron chip. It says Chip, it's Buffalo. Then there's an entryway that says "Welcome Home, Bikers" and all that stuff. The Field of Flags, and I believe one of the biggest flags, American flags in North America, is out there. Out front, before you have to pay to get in. So there's a public area out front that has vendors like BMWs there showing their new bikes every year. It's where they have the chopper shows and all that stuff. There is the Big Engine Bar. The Big Engine Bar, you can tell because there's a big engine there. It's like 4, 5, 6-story high V-twin sitting out front. You can't miss it. Good place to have a drink and go to the Chip, even if you're not going to pay your $100 to get in. If you're not a Chip guest, you can still go and kind of experience it, see some good vendors and stuff, and grab a drink there. So again, the Big Engine Bar at the Chip. A staple, One-Eyed Jack's. One-Eyed Jack's is one of the most famous bars in Sturgis. It's pretty much right up there with Full Throttle. It's not a massive complex like the Throttle, but it's a staple, on Main Street. The bartenders are just famous. I mean, you can actually Instagram search like One-Eyed Jack's bartenders, and you can find them because it's kind of celebrities in and of themselves. They last year I remember them watching them just beat the ever living shit out of customers. For entertainment, and I'm kind of quiet in the corner, and I like to stay that way. I don't like to be the center of attention, which is ironic because I have a YouTube channel. But so yeah, they were just brutalizing these dudes, tying them to poles and beating them and stuff. And bartenders are really, really attractive. My wife's going to see this eventually. They're ugly, just ugly girls. Anyway. At One-Eyed Jack's, you gotta go there. It's also a good place to grab a burger and stuff. The Loud American is also on Main. They're kind of known for their food more than anything. They have like a steak tip deal that I've actually never had it, but everyone talks about the steak tips at Loud American. Good place to go grab a drink. The Dungeon Bar. The Dungeon can be intimidating for first timers because you're walking down Main, and it's just a doorway, and it's in the basement of the buildings. So you see a sign that says the Dungeon. You see a doorway, and there's a doorman there who's as big as your bike, and that's the entrance to the Dungeon. If you're afraid of 1%ers, you won't like the Dungeon. They are there. It's not a problem. I mean, it's just not an issue. I'll talk about that in a later video, but it's worth going and checking out. The place has got dollar bills and bras just stapled to all the rafters. Prices aren't bad. Good place to grab a can of PBR, hang out, and watch people. So I like the Dungeon a lot. Don't be afraid of it. Go. Just go down there, grab a beer, and you'll have a good time. It's a great place. Now, one of my favorite places in Sturgis for a lot of reasons is the Knuckle. The Knuckle's a complex. There's body painters outside. There's vendors and all that stuff. They have a great outdoor. Actually, it's got a roof, but it is actually outdoor. You may not realize it. Like mezzanine level area concert venue that's indoor outdoor. And there's a restaurant in the Knuckle, and it's actually pretty damn good. So the Knuckle's a great place to go, grab a drink, grab lunch, grab dinner, people watch, do a little shopping, grab your Notorious Knuckle t-shirt because it's one of those great t-shirts to grab from the rally. But yeah, the Knuckle is an absolute must. I go a couple times a year. I'll talk about this later in entertainment, but the Knuckle's where a band called Shoot to Thrill plays every year. They're a AC/DC tribute band, and they're absolutely fantastic. They're only playing on like Thursday, Friday, Saturday night at the end of the rally, and I won't miss it. That's something I'll always be at. So the Knuckle. Side Hacks on Main. It's not that Side Hacks is a great bar. It's just the most well-hidden strip club in America, I think. Because Side Hacks is a bar and grill on Main Street, but there's a little staircase inside, and there's an outdoor metal staircase that goes up to the second level, and it's a strip club. and you don't know it's there. I didn't know it was there. I've been to Sturgis for years and didn't know it was there until I went with Bull for the first time. And he was like, follow me up this little staircase. And we went up there, and I'll be damned if there wasn't a bar up there. So anyway, a great place to go grab a drink if you want to watch people with no clothes on. It's a lot of fun. So this one's an absolute must. The Badlands is my wife's favorite ride. Actually, I think it is her favorite ride of the rally. She just loves the Badlands. I don't know what it is. She says it's just spiritual to stand out there and see nothingness for as far as the eye can see and look in these rock formations and think, damn, somebody crossed this stuff with a freaking covered wagon at one time. Like it's just truly incredible place to go. But if you don't just go to the outskirts, that's I'll talk about that in a ride video later. Don't just go to the outskirts. Go in, and you can actually use Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever you use to find this. There is a bar in the Badlands called the Horseshoe Bar. So again, Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever you use, the Horseshoe Bar in the Badlands. If you just put that into your GPS or your phone or your whatever the hell, or use a map, it's going to take you into the Badlands, which is fantastic. And the Horseshoe Bar is a great place with bad service and and whatnot, but still, it's a great destination. That going to that bar is just it's again a great bar with again dollar bills with everyone's name and where they're from stapled to all the walls and rafters. But I just use it as a GPS destination, honestly. It's middle of nowhere. There's a dude cooking buffalo burgers outside, and you can get a cheap beer, but it's just a great destination that'll take you far into the Badlands, and right there you can choose to go further in and try to go back, and then you can go out to Wall Drug if you want to and come back down 90 or however you want to do it. But I'm going to say this one again, the Horseshoe Bar in the Badlands. Do it. And then another great place to grab a drink is the Rally at Exit 55. If you go out 90 right before you get to Rapid is Black Hills Harley, the big giant dealership, and they have, of course, it's vendors. You can't miss it. I mean, it's just semi trucks you can see a mile away of Mustang seats and S&S and Clockworks, and all those vendors are there. But it's one of my favorite places to go grab a couple of beers and walk around and look at stuff that I'm going to blow a bunch of money on. So, so go have a drink at the Rally at Exit 55, even if you're not looking to buy anything, because it's a good place. Again, you walk around, you have a beer, and you just look at interesting trinkets and trash, right? That's for bikers. Of course, I cannot believe it's not on this list, the Full Throttle. The Full Throttle Saloon is kind of between the Buffalo Chip and Glencoe, so outside of town. And the Throttle is, it's out by, oh my God, the Peak. Bear Butte. Jesus, it's out by Bear Butte now. And it was over closer to the Chip, and it burned down a couple years ago. I actually have a picture that if I am smart enough, I'm going to talk real slow because maybe it'll give me a chance to throw this up on the screen. But I have a picture of me rolling into the Throttle, me and my father. In 2015, we were there like the day before the end of the rally, and it burned down like a week after that, the original Throttle. And he had just gotten it to kind of where he liked it. Michael Ballard's the name of the place. If you want to see some good Sturgis media stuff, there was a TV show about it called The Full Throttle Saloon, so you can search that. And it's several years old, but it's still good stuff. And for me, it scratches that Sturgis itch to watch those old episodes sometimes. But the Throttle is the world's biggest biker bar. You're going to pull in. May take you a while to find a spot. There are that many bikes. You're looking at a parking lot that has, I don't know the number, but hundreds upon hundreds of motorcycles. Pappy Hoyle's campground is there with it, which used to be the Broken Spoke, I think it was. But yeah, if you're going to find a while to find parking, you're going to go into a tilt-up building that is full of some of the coolest stuff to take a look at. I mean, giant presses and machines from turn of the century in there that have been pinstriped and whatnot. Ancient bikes hanging from rafters. There's a stage inside the main building that has good ZZ Top tribute bands and stuff typically playing. Bartenders are hot. He makes his own moonshine, so there's great drink specials normally. There's a really good walk-in humidor in there, and then you walk out back, and that's when you see why they call it the world's biggest biker bar, because it is outside the size of a freaking subdivision, with outdoor bars. It's paved. No more notifications. And there's, again, tons of vendors. The main stage is in the back, the giant stage, and that's where the big bands perform, and where the Bikers Ball is Thursday night? I think it's Thursday night. And that's when, what's this dude? The dude that plays the chainsaw. Is it Cracker? Jackal Cracker. He is a cracker, but Jackal. Jackal performs for the Bikers Ball. And there's just a mega area. And then there's some like old saloon style buildings out there where they have like a Zippo salesperson making knives and stuff. There's vendors, but you got to go have a drink at the Throttle and do some people watching. You're gonna spend some money there. The drinks are not exactly cheap, but it is the Full Throttle Saloon. You got to go and you got to check that out. I guarantee I missed a lot of good ones. I know there's a couple in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming that I can't believe I didn't make the list, and I can't think of right now. But, comment down below. I may end up having to do a subsidy to this one. I got, episode 2 of the same thing. But let me know those that I missed, because I'm making my ride plans now and trying to get an idea of the list of things that I do not want to miss. And I want to hear what you guys and gals have to say. So hope you're all taking care of each other out there. We'll talk soon. Ride safe. See you.